Okay, I was really hustling there at the end. That's the problem with having this, my dad would call it SIR, self-imposed rule of trying to keep the videos under 10 minutes, is sometimes I look at that clock and I start trying to press and things don't go well. So let's just talk about what we did. The issue is that the update go is just like a setter. It doesn't tell it how to set it. It just knows that it's going to set this variable. It's a way to set it. And so I have to create a little function to do the actual incrementing. And so I was, my tendency is to want to call it update go, but we already have one of those. And so usually, honestly, these are called level and set level. That's the naming convention. But again, I'm trying to describe it in a different way, and then we'll get to what is normal convention. And so I'm creating this little function that goes in and calls that update go method and sets it to equal to whatever the go level was times 2. And I'm storing this entire function inside a const called increment go. So what I'm going to pass to that go button function in that go button function variable is the function increment go. And so up here, when I click, it's going to go call this function, which is sitting out there in that go button function variable, so to speak. All right, so now that we've got that, let's do a Control S, see if we can get something to appear on this screen. Am I running? I am running. Oh no, I wasn't running. That was a bad window. That was an old window. So now I've got the go and amount of go, and now they're sitting side by side because I took my break tags out. So let's put them back in. You tired of me doing that yet? I know I am. All right, we get a couple break tags back in, but now it's inside this app component. I save, now we see it set up right, and when I click on this, it works exactly the same, but we're doing it with these go label and go button functional components being separate. And we're using the ability of the parent, which houses both, right, has the scope of both, to be able to create these variables and then and functions and whatnot, and then float them down to the children. All right, just like Pennywise, they all float. And in that regard, I've been working so far with just everything in this app TSX file, but we can create separate files. So I can go into my source and create a new file called, this one is gobutton.tsx, and then I'll create another one called golabel.tsx. Okay, so then I can go into my app.tsx and I could pull all the functionality for the go button, cut it, and go into my gobutton.tsx and paste it. All right, now the one thing that I am going to have to do is export it as an actual component. And so this little export default app is the thing that makes this what comes out of this TSX file. So I would just need to, in this case, say export default and then the name of the function, which is go button. So export default go button. Okay, and then same thing for the go label. I could pull that out, cut out that information, drop it into my go label, and then I would just need to export the default go label. All right, so now these things exist as their own individual components. Okay, now I've moved all the code there, so now in the app TSX, it tells me it doesn't recognize now what go button is. How do I fix that? Quick fix, I add an import to bring in that go button. Go to the go label, quick fix, add import to bring in the go label, and now it recognizes it. So the question is, can I still float information down to separate components existing in separate TSX files? If I save this, refresh, the answer is no. What did I do? Save. I'm going to stop this from running for a second. So Control C, yes, and then npm and close my windows because I keep running into that problem. So run dev, just to rule that out. Open up my window, and yeah, I'm not getting anything. Let's look and see. F12. This was not in the notes, by the way. Request a module. Go button does not provide an export named default. What? Export default app. Go button. Export default go button. App TSX. It doesn't like that go button from go button line. You got me. I mean, we can type it in manually. So import go button from, and then we want to say where it is, and we're in this source folder .go button semicolon. What's wrong with that? Save, nothing happens. All right, well, these are the types of things. Do I say, do I leave this in the video? Do I take this out? Do I re-record? But I think it's good to see that there are errors we have to deal with. And so check this again. Go button from go button. Man, I do not know. Does not provide an export name default. This is going to be some easy error. Oh, is there something wrong? No, that's right. Export default go button. Okay, that's funny. Come on. That's funny. Go button. Save. Save. Okay, when I did this before, it worked fine. I've done something wrong, obviously. Let me pause and see if I can get to the bottom of it. Voila. Okay. For you, a mere couple seconds. For me, like 10 minutes or so. And I just realized I'm an idiot. That's the problem. I hadn't saved my go button or my go label. And that's what was causing the problem. As soon as I saved those and then went back, and I thought I was doing a save all, but apparently I was only doing a save. I should have been doing Control-Shift-S, and I was just doing Control-S. 10 minutes of my life. Okay, so we'll do Control-Shift-S from now on. And now it works exactly the same. So for those of you that love organization, this should be really cool. You can go build folders, and you can put the different elements in the different folders and have your different components. If you want to reuse them on another place in the website, if I want to have this go button in another place, I can just call that component. And so we can build stuff out. Obviously, we've done it right in the app.tsx file, but we can also build separate TSX files for organizational purposes, and then we can just float information from one to another. All right. Okay, well, let's get some data in our program, and we will begin to do that in the next video. Spencer, out and frustrated. I hate those silly errors.